Welcome to Safe and Sound, a monthly podcast on cybersecurity, presented by GrandPad and the Layton Podcast Network.
Welcome to today's episode of Safe and Sound, the podcast where we discuss cybersecurity for seniors. I'm Sarah Wilchin, Senior Client Success Manager at GrandPad. Today, we're going to dive into one of the more pressing issues in the digital world: what to do when your personal data is compromised. From stolen devices to hacked accounts, the aftermath can feel so overwhelming and definitely frightening. But with the right precautions and immediate actions, you can protect yourself, limit the damage, and regain control. In this episode, we're going to walk through the essential security steps, we're going to share some practical tips, and we're going to explore just how to stay vigilant in the face of data breaches. Whether you're an individual, a business professional, or just someone who values their privacy, this discussion is going to give you the tools to respond quickly and confidently when your data is at risk. I'm joined again today by Derek Barksdale, Director of Security and Privacy at GrandPad. Great to be with you again today, Derek. Let's jump in. Can you just share some common situations where people's data or devices might be at greater risk? Like, I think about maybe when traveling and things like that.
Absolutely, Sarah. Thank you again. It's good to be here. Normally, when people go on vacation trips, they start to wind down the moment they get in the car. And that's when their guard begins to drop. I've seen countless travelers leave their laptop screens wide open in crowded airports, practically inviting strangers to glance at sensitive information. Even worse, I've noticed people setting their phones or tablets down unattended, assuming they'll be safe for just a moment. Both of these habits are a prime opportunity for cyber criminals and thieves. What starts as a simple negligence can quickly escalate into stolen personal data, compromised work accounts, or even the loss of the device itself. It's crucial to remember that airports, hotels, and tourist spots are hotspots for opportunistic attacks. So keeping devices locked, encrypted, and within your control at all times isn't just a precaution, it's a necessity.
Yeah, that's such a valid point, Derek. It's just so important to note, especially when you're traveling, to take all those security precautions to protect your devices and your information. I mean, it's so easy to just fall right into relax mode, but we have to stay vigilant with our electronics. How about you walk us through some practical security-focused tips, like for laptop, phone, and other devices when traveling?
Sure. First, I would say back up your data. Whether that's your phone or laptop, always make sure you have your data stored somewhere safe so that you can get to it if something happens to your device. We never know when our devices will be compromised or stolen, so you always want to have access to your data. Secondly, I would say ensure you have strong passwords and are using two-factor authentication for email, banking, and cloud accounts. I harp on two-factor authentication because if something gets compromised, like your password, it makes it difficult for cyber criminals because they need the second factor in order to compromise your account. Lastly, I would say label your belongings. Add name, contact info to your devices using luggage tags or engravings. You never know when you will misplace or lose your belongings, and you need that identifier so that those who might come upon your possessions will return it to you safely.
Wow, Derek, those are great tips for protecting yourself when traveling. And like we talked about in the last episode, be suspicious. Some people might find that strange, but you just always have to be on the lookout for unusual behaviors and just be paying attention to what's going on around you. Sometimes scammers work in teams. Like, you get distracted, they are distracting you, and you don't want to get distracted to the point where you take your eyes off your personal belongings because somebody else might be there waiting to grab them.
Sarah, that's so important. Be aware at all times. And I always say, make sure that your family members are thinking like you think. Always prepare them when going in busy areas or places where you know that you will encounter many people. Your attention to details can be your biggest weapon when traveling through busy areas.
Yeah, Derek, that's so great. And when you find yourself in a situation like this and your laptop or your phone or something is stolen along with your personal data, it's so terrifying. So what are some of the immediate steps that people should take?
First, if you feel like someone has stolen your personal information, like your social security number, bank details, or login credentials, you should act fast. Protect your financial information at all costs. Notify your bank and credit card companies immediately. Ask them to monitor for suspicious activity or issue new cards to you so that you can get rid of the cards that you feel are compromised. Also, consider a credit freeze or a fraud alert with credit bureaus. Experian, Equifax, TransUnion all offer credit freeze and the opportunity to alert you when they feel your account has been compromised. Secondly, I would say secure your accounts immediately. Change passwords for your email, banking, social media, and other sensitive account information, and always enable multi-factor authentication wherever possible. Use a password manager to generate strong passwords. Here at GrandPad, we use passphrases, which are long, unique passphrases to each individual that are really difficult to compromise. And lastly, I would say report the theft. Local police are always important when you have lost one of your devices. File a report. This creates an official record and may help with insurance claims. Also, if employers are notified when you lose a device, it helps the company protect not only your data, but its data. So notify the IT or security department within your company so that they can revoke access, track the device, and also wipe it remotely. And also with device manufacturers or carriers, contact Apple, Google, or your phone carrier to lock or disable your device. Usually there is a remote option for these manufacturers to lock down your device if it's stolen. Lastly, use remote management tools if enabled. Find My iPhone is very popular for me and my family. I often find my kids through my iPhone. So Find My device is important. Make sure that's enabled so that you can attempt to locate, lock, or erase the device.
Wow, great tips, Derek. You are a wealth of great information. So protect your financial information, secure your accounts as quickly as you can, report the theft, and then use those remote management tools when possible. These are great tips for damage control.
We are family. Sister Sledge. You know, for people listening who might feel they're out of touch with family or family members because they're not connected, not wired, as they say, unable to share emails, correspond with kids, grandkids, nieces, and nephews, well, now they can be connected. You can be connected. The best part is it's easy to do. The solution is called GrandPad. GrandPad is a simple and secure tablet that connects you to your family and friends. No longer do you have to miss out on birthdays, graduations, weddings, other special occasions. Even everyday activities can all be shared on a GrandPad tablet. With GrandPad, you can view family photos and videos, play games, check on the weather, listen to your favorite music, send and receive emails, even voice emails, make outbound phone calls by just tapping a picture or a graphic on the screen. You don't have to take a computer course to do this. GrandPad's simple month-to-month, no-risk, no-contract membership includes everything you need to connect with your digital family. It comes with all the support that you need to stay in touch. Visit grandpad.net, just the way it sounds, grandpad.net. See how this simple device can be an incredibly powerful way to share all of life's little and big moments. See what a difference it can make in your life, the life of a parent or relative who would love to be in touch.
So as always, we like to address listener questions that come in. So Derek, let's jump in and answer a few that relate to today's topic. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
All right. So question 1, is it safe to use public Wi-Fi in hotels or airports when traveling?
Public Wi-Fi is convenient, but it comes with risks. Hackers can intercept your connection and steal your information. If you must use it, avoid accessing sensitive accounts like online banking while you're in a hotel or using a public Wi-Fi. Use a virtual private network instead to encrypt your connection and turn off file sharing on your device. It's always safer to use your phone's hotspot if that's available to you as well, because you know that it's a safe connection to get out to the internet.
Those are great things to know. So use caution with public Wi-Fi. And yeah, it's always a better choice to use your own hotspot. You just have so much more control over what that network is connecting to. All right, question 2. I often use ride-sharing apps when traveling. Are there security concerns I should keep in mind? That's a great question. A lot of people use ride-share apps.
Absolutely. Yes, ride-sharing apps are useful but require caution. Always double-check the license plate and driver's name before getting in. Avoid sharing your trip details publicly and stick to well-lit pickup areas. Most importantly, never share personal information with your driver, and be cautious if asked to change the destination mid-ride. And I always say, keep your antennas up. If the conversation sounds a little funny, then be suspicious of all questions being asked to you so that you know how to properly answer them and allow yourself to arrive at your destination safely.
Yeah, wow, Derek, that's great. I think that tip about being careful what you share is so important. Like, you think you're just having a nice conversation, but they might be mining for data and they're looking for information to use against you. And this, again, just underscores that importance of awareness and vigilance, especially amongst older travelers who are just used to being conversational with people and then find out it's really a fraudulent activity at work trying to find that data on you. So speaking of that, what are some just general tips families can take to help the seniors in their life just to avoid scams in general in everyday life?
Great questions. Families should regularly check in with their senior loved ones, not just for companionship, but to help monitor for suspicious activity. At GrandPad, we like to use the STOP acronym. The S stands for suspicious contacts. Always be aware when you are talking to people online, especially if you don't know them in real life. Me and my mother have a relationship where I often ask her, did anything strange happen today online, or did anybody call you and probe for your information? This keeps both of us safe because I constantly check up to make sure she's doing the proper things to keep her information safe. The T stands for threats or urgency. A common strategy with scammers is that you need to invest money right now. Otherwise, you will lose out. It's always better to take your time to verify something is true before you give over any money or sensitive information. If it's genuine, they can wait. I often say, delay always gives you opportunity to investigate. So delay any urgent request as much as you can so that you can do the proper background check to make sure it's a legit request. The O stands for outlandish promises. Remember, if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Nobody is giving you $1 million just for you to sign over a simple car payment or your car in its worth. So make sure that when people are offering you outlandish promises, that you validate what they're asking for from you. And also remember that normally it's a scam if they're offering you millions of dollars with nothing up front. The last letter P stands for payment request. Scammers are always after information or money. If you have a genuine relationship with someone, they shouldn't be pressuring you to spend thousands of dollars. So make sure that you validate these requests at all costs. If you see any of these warning signs, remember to stop. Make sure, approve, validate that all the requests coming to you are valid requests.
Wow, Derek, that's great. I love that checking in with your mom and the tips about just checking in and making it part of your regular conversation. Just, hey, did anything weird happen today? Did anything hit your radar that seems odd? Like, that's such a great way to just incorporate it into everyday life. A little sad that we have to do it, but, you got to just take the steps to be cautious. So again, that acronym is so great to keep in mind. Stop with the suspicious contacts, threats or urgency, outlandish promises, and payment request. Simple reminder to just recognize those red flags and protect yourself. And I love that idea of just pausing, just slow down and give yourself time to think. Nothing is that urgent. So great tips. Stay mindful of these warning signs and just listen to your instincts. That's the best way to stay protected out there. At GrandPad, we're dedicated to making connections safe, simple, and stress-free for older adults with features like our trusted contact list and our intuitive design and the 24/7 support. Families can rest assured that their loved ones are protected while staying connected. So to learn more, you can visit grandpad.net or call 1-800-904-9412. Thanks for listening. We hope you join us again next time. Stay safe out there.
Safe and Sound is a monthly podcast presented by GrandPad and the Layton Podcast Network. Find this and other podcasts on demand at WinonaRadio.com.